everybody, this is Nystagmus. I am playing a preview of Civilization 7, so I've got a few hours under my belt here. I decided to restart a brand new game because I didn't do so well the first time around. But I am playing today, so we are going to go ahead and start in the Antiquity Age. I'm going to be playing as Machiavelli and Rome. Couldn't help myself to play as Machiavelli. Hey, so to kind of go over our kind of setup here, this is a preview for how the game works. First thing I want to mention is I absolutely love the Fog of War. Um, it it's so pretty, and there's so much detail. It looks great. But yeah, so basically, what you should do always is just like in Civ 6, and also there is a good tutorial, so always turn the tutorial on when you're first playing the game. But yeah, you can see these new things here. You start with a founder, and you can start your first city. Now, what you can also do here is toggle all the different modes. So you have basically all these different modes here, like resources. So I usually click all of them on resources, and just like in Civ 6, to go ahead and put on the yields. Now, from what I gathered in when I was playing in the last little bit here, the yields have been a lot more balanced. You don't see a whole lot of like really high yield tiles versus low yield tiles. It's a lot more balanced out. And so the most important thing that I feel, and I'm not sure if anyone can correct me on this one, but it seems that the most important place to put your first city is near water, right? So when you look at the different lenses, you could do the settler lens, and basically all the different places here that are green are areas where near water, and that's basically what we want to found. So basically you can found right on spot here, right? So you go to the continent map too, so it tells you the continent just like in Civ 6. And you click on your founder here, and it can tell you right here, it tells you to found your first city, right? And that becomes your capital, just like in Civ 6. So we'll just go ahead and found that city, right? Now, basically, much like the other kind of yields we got in Civ 6, you're going to have food that allows you to feed your populace. You're going to have production that helps you build buildings and trade units. And you have science that helps you propel your technological progress. Now, yeah, production, right? So basically the other kind of thing we're going to go here, there's all these different lenses here. So the first one here is going to be your age progress. So this kind of tells you kind of how you're doing throughout the age, and this is a little bit different than Civ 6. So there is no kind of area where you see like different victory conditions. You're going to do basically these different legacy paths, right? And you can see the ranking, and you're going to see all the different ones here that you have, and it can tell you like how many of the different points that you get for it, like legacy points, for example. All right, so you can either do a culture legacy path. So you have a cultural advisor who tells you, expert in arts, philosophy, and all other things. And so basically the objective is to build a wonder, and you'll be able to unlock wonders via the civic and tech trees. And so the first thing here, reward here, is you want to get one legacy culture point, and you can get all these different kind of little points here, and we kind of go through as we go the age progresses. And then from here, the next step is you complete more legacy wonders to complete the legacy path, construct a second wonder, and then you can build a milestone, right? And so you get all these different wonders to get that. So basically you go all the way down through building wonders and through culture. Then there's the military legacy path, and this is basically you get more and more points for either settling or conquering cities, and then kind of go down the different ones where you want to do, right? So it tells you also specifically for your civ. So because right here it'll tell you like for the wonders of the ancient world, it'll be for Rome. For military, it tells you that you have to get military unit, right? And you get what's called a legatus, and we'll go over that soon too. But these are basically the leaders or the commanders that you're going to get. So basically, it's a critical managed any standing army. You'll continue to lead it, use over the many course of battles. It cannot attack, but you need it to train an army. And you can also assemble 4 military units. We'll go over that as well. So combat's different as well. And you can kind of go through all these different advisors for this too. And you get objective, assembling an army and getting a siege unit. And it kind of just goes over like different parts we should do, right? For legacy path. Then there's science legacy path. Right, and it goes all the different steps here. We'll refer back to this as we go through the game. You don't have to choose one. You can get legacy points for any one of these as you go down the different paths, and we can go from there. So that's the first step right here. So right here, age progress. Up here, this tells you, just like in Civ 6, your gold per turn. This one is a new one that isn't in Civ 6, but you can accumulate influence. Now I get 3 influence, and that is because I am Machiavelli. Oops. Right here, so your leader ability. So plus 3 influence per age, gains 50 gold per age when your diplomatic action proposals are accepted, or 100 when they are rejected. You ignore relationship requirements for declaring formal wars, so you can just declare war. You can levy troops and city-states you are not suzerain of, which is also very interesting too, when I played them the last time. Then when you're the Roman Empire, so Roman Empire, I get +1 culture on districts and the capital and city centers and towns, and +30 production towards constructing the Colosseum. You get the unique unit, the Legion, just like in Civ 6, and this is the commander unit, the Legatus. You can also get the Elite Quarter, the Forum, +1 culture and gold for every unique tradition of the government. And you also get the Basilica, +4 gold and +1 influence adjacency for cultural buildings and wonders. And the Temple of Jupiter, +3 happiness, +1 culture. Now, the reason why they have this other word right here, ageless, is that when you move ages, things change. Your units will change. Some of them won't even, not all of them always get to the next round. So ageless means that it's going to stay. It's not gonna change or go away or anything like that. So that's right there. So that's over right here. And then last one here is your settlement limit. So we have a settlement limit. Here we start with 3. Now I think Rome gets an extra settlement limit. Let me just go back to the attributes here. Oops, no. Right here. Could have sworn I did. I'm gonna have to double check that. But you get a settlement limit. If you exceed it, you get -5 happiness in all settlements per settlement over the limit to a maximum of -35. And so we go from there. So let's start right here. We open and we'll choose our production. We can start off with a scout or a warrior. And then they'll tell you your advisor that tells you to do which one or the others. At the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and start with a scout and go from there. So we're gonna start training. And we click our next turn. A couple other things you can see too. You can go to the Civilopedia at any point, just like in Civ 6, and kind of look things up as we go, right? And it'll give you kind of an idea. Hey, and we will go ahead and start our next turn. Okay, so got our scout. Now it looks like we have a river here, and this looks like it's a navigable river. And so I'm going to go ahead and decide to go south. And it's really cool how the Fog of War gets revealed too. Okay, and then we get new text as well. So let's choose here. And just like before, you can decide which one based on your economic advisor. You can go to the tree and look where it's going, right? The different thing here is if you get to one of these writing and then you can do mastery, there's level 2 on the same type, and it will help improve the science buildings or the other things that you've been doing this for. So I'm going to start off sailing and then choose production, and I'm going to go ahead and build a second scout. So the city grows in population. Excellent. And you can grow your city. So when a city grows, you can expand it. So it's not as much as when the culture makes it expand. You can expand it when the city grows, and you're gaining the yields it offers. So when your settlements people move into this tile, they'll create an improvement, a rural structure, and they work and live in it. So tiles with high yields and tiles containing users are obvious choice, but specific yield types may be better suit your strategy. So choose where you'd like to expand first. So here we have a choice here. So you can expand into, I'm gonna go this one right here and get access to the ivory as well. I'm gonna move our scout. And I'm gonna get some tundra over here. yeah, is population 2, and it will tell you how many turns it will take. And this one here is going to tell you how many turns it will take to build your scout. And grow my city again. So again, we can get into right here. So this will give us ivory, and this gives production against wonders, right? And so we can get that special resource, and I think that's what I'm going to go for as well here. So get the ivory. So get the resource there, and the other thing we can do as well is if you go here and you go to your resource allocation, now you can choose where they go. So like right here, you go right here. At the top of your empire resources, which affect the entire civilization. So these ones up here will affect everything. And then you can, on the left, you can assign city or bonus resources, and you can go to the settlements or to the city. So we only have one right here. So we have an extra one here. We can allocate it to each city individually. Now we can choose a government. So government is something that's, you know, kind of a holdover from Civ 6, but it's a little different. So the very first one we can get here, so Classical Republic, Despotism, and Oligarchy. So basically when you first get it, there's like a kind of a thing where you get something for your celebrations, and these come up as the game goes on. So it's not like a continuous bonus that you get. It's something you only get during these celebrations, these kind of events that you can get. So for Classical Republic, you get plus 20% culture for 10 turns and plus 15% production towards wonders for 10 turns. Despotism, you get 20% science for 10 turns and 30% production towards training infantry units. Oligarchy, food, and towards buildings for 10 turns. I'm going to go with the Classical Republic because Rome get bonus of that culture and then go in wonders. So I'm going to go a little bit more of the culture route. You can do the military route too, but I'm going to go the culture route this game. So let's go the culture route right there. So go to the Classical Republic. And these are now your social policies, kind of like those policy cards you get. So I only have one spot right now, and this grows as time goes on. So I'm going to go ahead with tool making because I get extra production. Okay, and now there's also these little things that pop up called a narrative choice. So this happens every so often too, right? So pop it up. Gives you a little blurb, a little story. A worker files a complaint about stolen goods. The accused thief, however, claims to have found the tools discarded in a public place. Does that make them not unowned? And then you can order the tools returned, plus 50 happiness towards the next celebration. Or you can finders keepers shall be the law, plus 50 gold. And so I will go ahead, and I like to get a little bit of extra gold early in the game, so I'm going to go ahead and go finders keepers. One of the discoveries that can be found in the world. Oh, okay. So I think that's going to be kind of like our old goody huts. Oh, I found an independent village. So these are the replacement to the barbarian encampments. So basically what will happen, that this village ends up being friendly. So yeah, they're friendly, right? So once I get enough influence, I can befriend them. So this is the diplomacy screen for the independence. So you'll see like a leader from the independent power, and you can do projects. Okay, so this is a hostile power. You can kind of tell that from the little red border that they have. So the little red border means that they're hostile. I've met Benjamin Franklin. Below screen.
I am Benjamin Franklin, doctor, scientist, writer, and full of advice, whether you will listen or not.
So we can choose the greeting: friendly greeting, neutral greeting, hostile greeting. I'm gonna go for a culture, so I'm gonna go ahead, friendly greeting. And this is kind of cool right here. So this is a big change. So the Diplo screen's significantly different, so it affects your relationship. And so you can do all these different things that you can do. So you can do endeavors, actions, and espionage actions. So, and this will cost influence, essentially. So what will happen is you can ask for things like open borders, and that costs influence. You can ask for open markets, a local festival, which gives you happiness per turn. And then you can go to sanctions. So this is going to be stuff like you can denounce them. You can also hinder finances. So they will lose gold for 10 turns. You can hinder public morale, so you can get rid of their happiness. And then there are espionage actions, which you don't need spies for, which I think Razing Zozo is going to love because you can try to steal tech from people right away in the game. And I'll just continue moving my scouts. So what I'll do here as well is show what happens when you get a new settler. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a settler. Okay. So we get a settler. Now it's not a founder, right? We can do a new settlement. So you can build this settler. It'll pop up, let you know where you can build here. A storm. Look how cool that looks. It's so cool. First settlement. So we've already first expanded, and we're gonna build our first town. It's like a city. Food from the settlement helps you expand to nearby tiles. However, buildings and units can only be purchased with gold. It can't be used production. You can spend gold to turn the town into a city, although the gold cost is greater for the more cities you have in your civilization, and decreases as the town grows. Right. So right now, if we go to this town, it's going to cost 600 gold to turn it into a city. That number will go down, and now we have the extra resources. So the resources here. You can put it back here and you can put it to your capital. And so you can change it here and put it back here, and you can move it to the different cities and allocate it. Oh, who did I meet? Xerxes. Hey, so it's our first combat here. So very first combat. And you can see that they keep the animations going after you do the combat. Hey, let's do an oldie but a goodie and build ourselves a slinger. First promotion. So now we get to choose pantheons.
From this day forward, your pronouncement shall be
Very
unchangeable,
first wonder.
to raise or bring low.
Hey, so this is something else that can happen too. You can actually specialize towns. You can't go back and forth between all of them. You have to choose this or growing town. Well, everyone, that is the very first little bit of preview from Nystagmus here at TheCivShow. Just did the first 60 or so turns to kind of give you a preview of how the game operates with just the bare bones. Still learning all the ins and outs, but so far I am having a fantastic time with the game so far. It looks great. I really do like how we don't have to have builders anymore. I really think it streamlines that quite a bit. And the kind of differences with resource allocation and how the yields work now, I think is a little bit more streamlined as well. So people don't have to, I guess, freak out too much about like all the yields on the terrain, and you can actually make the terrain work for you. I do think it works quite well. I'm having a great time with it. So tune in for any more videos. We are going to be trying our best to get this preview content out to you, and stay tuned.